Well, I will say, even just last week, I had some great feedback from a couple agents and compliments to the unit. They had a few files that were approved in under 90 days. And we had another file with an applicant that had, within less than a month, had received, I think, an interview request. So they were excited out there. So it's very good news coming out of the citizenship unit. Um, there's one thing that the unit's been talking about a little bit about a 10-week decision.
Mm.
And I know that doesn't mean approval in 10 weeks, but perhaps you could add some clarity to what it does mean.
Yes. So when we looked at, when we took over this approach, we got a lot of feedback, and in my world, feedback was a gift, and I got a lot of gift. And we said one of the continuous theme that we're hearing is, let us know directionally where the applicant is in the process. Let us know what that decision point is. And, because at the end of the day, we're dealing with from a human. And I think in absence of any type of communication, then someone creates their own narrative. And so we decided that we were going to implement a process and really get to efficiency where we can, within reason, I would say, get to a 10-week point where a decision of whether we will move forward or perhaps there's a denial. What that does, it does two things. It enables a trust factor on one, directionally, the agents and the IMA or authorized agent can then go back to the client and then share that. That builds trust. Individual prefer to get an answer, and then, whether it's great, thumbs up, or it may not be that great, but then understand where they are. So that's really what we indicated for the 10-week time frame, that in answer on which path this applicant will be, and you should get it.
Great. So you get kind of like an early litmus test of where this looks like it's going. In one other part of the process is the interview, and I mentioned previously. Maybe a two-part question here. Roughly, when does that get set up? Early, mid, late stage? And then if I was an applicant and I'm going to have an interview, my questions might roll around, well, what am I going to be asked? Or even better yet, is there something I should have with me to be prepared for it? Maybe copies of my file or something so that it can be done efficiently and timely.
Right. Let me first say it's not an interrogation. And it's, I hear the same feedback, and it reminds me of when you're going to take an examination in school. Everyone wants to be overly prepared. They want to study for it and so forth. The simplest thing I would say for the interview is simply verifying and validating what you have indicated already. So there's no new trick question. There's no new, we are sort of trying to trick. It is simply, one, we need to know who you are. We need to verify, what you said on the application. And then we also just want to make sure that, clearly everything is harmonized in regards to, the aspect of protecting the integrity of the program.